Hi guys, welcome back to day number 9 through 11 in my Thankful Traveler's Notebook. And if you've been enjoying the series, make sure you guys give me a thumbs up and I'll put the rest of the videos up for the rest of the days. And of course, when I start this video, my dogs are going to start playing and barking, of course. So hopefully they'll calm down. If not, I'll start over. Sorry about that. So if you guys enjoyed these video series, please like I said, give me a thumbs up and then I can keep doing the series. I have videotaped the rest of the days. I haven't videotaped the last couple of days. I have not actually finished them. So we'll see. I may end up doing those not on video just because I do want to get them done and I just want to, move on because today is the first day of December and it's December daily. I'm so excited. I have some friends coming over to scrapbook, so we're all going to, work on our scrapbooks, but I'm going to start prepping for my December daily and hopefully get that off to a good start. So anyway, on to this layout. So for today, I am working on day 9. And I just want to take my photo, I cut it down to a square, and I wanted to layer it with a couple different colors of paper. I like the really pretty gold foil paper, and I wanted to back that with a darker color. I really like the contrast between the two colors. So I did that with that photo. The photo is really dark, and I thought having that like gold foil on the back with the first layer would kind of help that pop a little bit. It doesn't really lighten it up necessarily, but it does kind of give some contrast between the different layers. So I wanted to make sure I had some of that gold foiling on the right hand side as well. So I'm just taking a little strip of a scrap and I am using my scallop punch and then punching that out. Also, I'm using this piece of paper that has pumpkins on it, and it had like a little chunk cut out of it, and in order to use it and not know that there's a chunk, I used that scallop to cover up that bare space. So I thought that would work perfect too. So now I'm just going to journal on this card about the day and what I am grateful for this particular photo, and then I'll glue that down on the right hand side, and then I'll start working on the left hand side, gluing that down and trying to figure out what other embellishments I want. I was thinking that one side on the right looked a little bare and I wanted to bring the blue wood grain or the aqua colored wood grain to the journaling card as well, so that's why I also add that little strip of scrap paper to that. So that embellishment in the top left is a homemade embellishment that I made. If you're interested in watching my video on the homemade embellishments that I made for this video or for this album, you can definitely check that out. I will try to remember to link it below. If not, it is in the Traveler's Notebook and the 30 Days of Thankfulness playlist, so you can pull it from there as well. So I just added that So Fun on the bottom, and then that page is done. So now I'm moving on to day 10. Day 10, actually, we went to a place called Dave & Buster's. My husband was having a company party and they gave us, well, they didn't give us, but we bought these really inexpensive tickets and we went there, and then it's kind of funny because I actually worked at the same place my husband currently works, and it was neat to see all my past colleagues and stuff like that because it's been about a year since I've worked there, so it was neat to kind of catch up with a few of them. But that's not exactly what this page is about. It's more about just my daughter and my husband's kind of relationship together. So I wanted to make sure I document that. One thing they absolutely love to do is play the claw game. I don't know if it's really a game. I don't know if you call it a game, but they love the claw, and they're super good at it. And it was so crazy. I thought, okay, we're at this one place. I said, there's no way you're going to be able to get anything. Like half the time I think those things are rigged and you don't get anything from them. He actually won, and it was like this huge blue and green elephant. So she was super excited. I don't have a picture of that in this album, but I did take a picture of her. But it's like, she's, a little over 4 foot, and this elephant is probably like 2/3 of her size. So it was just crazy. But anyway, so instead of talking all about the picture, I would like to talk about this page. I am just doing kind of not an ombre effect, just a different color, rainbowish, with the oranges, yellows, and reds. And I just took that same stamp and I did repeat stamping. I used some Stampin' Up! Ink. You saw I showed you the color names. If you have any questions about the Stampin' Up! Ink, let me know. But I really like the Stampin' Up! Ink. I don't have a ton of different examples of ink or types of ink that I use, but I've really found that I really like the Stampin' Up! Ink, and I was part of a group that was buying them, so we got them a little cheaper and we're getting like the color sets. So it worked out really well, and I'm just really in love with the Stampin' Up! Ink. So I do highly recommend it if you are looking for an ink. So now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to matte this photo here, and I wanted something dark that I can matte the photo with. and I'm picking out this wood grain. This is another one of those paper pads that I've been using throughout this whole album, and I thought this darker brown would be a nice contrast. Now this is a really dark picture as well, but for whatever reason it just seemed like that color would look good. Plus I have the words that I repeat stamped on, and I thought it needed something to separate it that was a little more dark as opposed to light because of the colors. I don't know, that just seemed like what it went with. And now I'm looking through my homemade embellishments, trying to figure out what I want to put on this page, which embellishment I want to put on. And I'm going to settle, I think, on that scallop one. I'm trying to remember what I did. And of course my dogs are playing again, and I'm going to try to see if I can make them stop so they're not disturbing us while we're watching this video. It always happens, doesn't it? I don't know if you guys have pets, but it always seems to never fail that right when you're getting ready to record a video, they want to play, bark, get in your lap, you know, have a fight. I don't know. So I apologize for that. So now I am working on getting that photo down. I wanted to add something in that bottom portion of the picture because it looked a little bare because it was a darker section. So I'm just going to accent it by adding these little punched out hearts. Or actually this one I hand cut, not punched out, but I hand cut that one. I want something that's a little bit bigger than that punched heart that I was first auditioning on the page. And then I'm just going to take some torn washi and use that kind of as an anchor, and I really like how that kind of brightens up that bottom portion of the picture and doesn't look so heavy. So I think after I do that, it's pretty much done. I'm going to add this punched heart too just on top for a little contrast, and then I'm going to add these enamel dots, and I believe this page, day 10, will be done. So I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I'm not sure if you guys had participated or not, but if you guys did a Thankful 30 or 30 Days of Thankfulness or whatever you wanted to call it, make sure you send me links in your comments below. I'd love to see what you've done. If you have a Facebook page or if you want to post on my Facebook page, you can do that as well. I'd love to see what you guys have done, or if you guys have done this album or any kind of type of thing like this, that would be great. I don't know if you guys hear that or not, but not only are the indoor animals not cooperating, the geese are flying over and honking. Go figure, huh? Sorry. I'm very distracted this morning, apparently. So now I realized I did not put the date stamp on the page I did first, and I went back, put the day 9 on it. I'm putting day 10 on that one, and I'm just kind of showing you how fat and bulky this got. That's one thing. These albums got so chunky. At the very end, I'll do a whole flip through so you can kind of see the whole thing and how it came together. But oh my gosh, they got so chunky. I totally underestimated how big I needed my spine in my album. I thought I made it like 3 times the size of what the actual notebooks not being filled was, and that just wasn't enough. I'm like, it is like bulging. So, and I'm not even done. I have like 3 or 4 more days, maybe a little bit more, maybe 6 days to finish. So I'm going to make the last couple of days really flat and try not to use any wood, veneer, or enamel dots, and just keep it to paper and things like that. But I wish I would have realized it was going to be so much fatter than I anticipated. But you know, it's okay. If they stay and they fit in it, it's just a little bit more bulky than I expected. Excuse me. So now I want to add a little texture to the background of this photo. So first I put down some white cardstock because again this picture is a little bit dark and I wanted that separation. And then I added some tissue paper, and then I had this gold doily that came in the Feed Your Craft kit, and I really liked it, and I hadn't used any of the doilies yet, so I thought this was perfect. So I trimmed the photo down a lot so that you could see just the edges peeking out of the doily. The doily is really shiny, so I didn't feel like I needed a lot of it showing, but I just wanted it peeking out. So I thought that would be perfect by cutting down the photo and then using that as kind of a mat for the photo. So I thought because I had that gold foil, it would look really nice against this darker blue paper, so the contrast would be really good. So instead of using my paper trimmer, I'm just using my Tim Holtz ruler and trimming it down. This is a good rule of thumb, a good hack, is that the right word? I don't know. A good way to be able to use your ruler if you don't have like a trimmer nearby. So let's say you're traveling or something and you forgot your trimmer. You can, on paper and stuff, use like a ruler like this that has kind of a sharper edge on the side, which the Tim Holtz ruler has a rounded edge for cutting with an X-Acto knife, and the other edge is a much more like sharp, I would say, edge, and it's perfect for trimming your photos. And I also like the effect it gives. Instead of being a very exact straight edge, it is straight, but it's got a little bit of texture to the edge, so it's kind of nice. Now I'm just taking that same scallop punch, and I've been using that a lot through this layout, I really like the extra texture it gives of the scallops, and just gives a little extra pop of something. So when you're trying to bring the colors and things across the 2 pages, it's nice because you kind of can add a little, tuck a little piece in here or there, and it has those colors, it has a little scallop, so it's fun, it's not just a straight line. So I recommend doing that too if you're trying to kind of make your 2 pages cohesive if you're doing something like this. Now this is a cut apart, this says Harvest. We were at Whole Foods, so I thought that would be good phrase, I guess, or word to use. So I did that, and I just trimmed that out. It was part of the cut apart sheet from the paper pack, and then I'm just gluing everything down on this base paper that I trimmed out with the ruler, and then I'm going to glue this whole thing now down to the book. And I believe I mentioned this in previous videos, but I am using quite a bit of adhesive. These books are not going to be in page protectors, so I want to make sure that nothing's falling off when people are flipping through the pages and stuff. So I do use quite a bit of adhesive on these. So now I'm trying to decide what I want to do behind this card. Because I have so much going on the right hand side, I wanted something going around on the left hand. So I'm going to take this washi tape and make a frame with it. So I'm going to, I marked off the edges of where my journaling card was, and then I'm just going to lay this washi tape down. I am going to cut the, or trim it down, and then what I'm going to do is take my X-Acto knife and cut it at a diagonal really carefully, and then I'll be able to peel up each side, and then they're going to lay flat like a mitered corner. So it's kind of hard to explain, and it's a little hard to show on video. If you need some more explanation, let me know. But basically, I overlap the washi, I take my ruler and I trim at a diagonal, and then I peel off the pieces that are loose, if you will, and then when you lay down the longer strips, then they butt up together. So you got to be really careful when you do this, because you can cut the front of your album or the back side. I did go through a little bit, nothing too big, so I wasn't too worried about it, but you don't really need a lot of pressure, and you want a pretty sharp X-Acto knife. What happened was my X-Acto knife wasn't very sharp, so I had to push a lot harder, which caused my paper to get cut all the way through. So if your X-Acto knife is sharper, you can do a lighter touch, and then it's just a little easier. So that's a tip. So now I wanted to bring that washi to the other side, so I just added a little bit of it in the top right corner. I'm going to add this other pumpkin homemade embellishment, write my journaling down, and then I will stick the journaling card down on the left-hand side. And I think that is it with this page, if I'm remembering correctly. I may add some enamel dots. I'm trying to remember now. Oh no, I'm going to add some of the little chipboard pieces. Again, this is from Feed Your Craft. I believe it was from the kit from last year, not this kit, but I really like the Feed Your Craft chipboard because it's really super thin and it's really cute. So I highly recommend that as well. So I'm just going to finish this up. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please think about subscribing. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up so I know to continue to do these videos and show you the rest of this particular album. I want to thank you guys, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Make sure you leave a comment below if you have any questions. Bye!